Hi guys, I'm back. Okay, so today I would like to break down some observations that I discovered. For the past 2 weeks, my focus has been trying to identify how destructive biosensors, biomedical implants, um, nanotechnology, but specifically nanotechnology that affects biological systems, how they're able to use this type of technology to torture individuals. Okay. And for the past 2 weeks, I've been working on trying to understand. And every time that I go deeper into my own research, trying to understand this that's inside of my body, there's always some new layer of discovery. The first layer of discovery that I discovered is that you have to have a detox protocol. Some people call it chelation, detox. Chelation for me is totally different, but I think chelation is important as well. You have to have some kind of detox protocol. You have to detox your intestines. You have to detox your intestines because science has shown us that there is a second brain. Now, I personally believe that there are three brains in the body. Okay, three brains. But a friend of mine who is really into healing the body spiritually said, actually, no, there's four brains in the body. And I'm going to tell you those four brains. And I happen to agree with them. The first one is the brain as we know it, okay, which is in your cranium. The second brain, which is what this person made aware to me, is the brain in your heart. The brain is the brain in your stomach. And then the fourth brain is the brain in your sex organs. And that includes your anus, your anal system. Okay. So again, there are four brains in the body. Okay. In Ayurvedic medicine, they call these systems chakras. Okay. But I call them brains. Now, and I'm dealing specifically with technological. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm dealing specifically with technological torture. Okay. Not torture from if you break a limb or torture from, for women, their cycle, but not torture, sorry, pain, which is different. Not pain from if you break a bone, sorry. Not pain from tissue or muscle stress, not pain from inflammation, which can be a part of it, not pain from any cause of action that is taken that causes the body to produce a response. I'm dealing specifically with a level of pain that is just so indescribable that doctors refuse to recognize. Psychologists, type of pain that people are going through as a product of the mind, and then they prescribe psychotropics to deal with this type of pain because they don't believe this pain is real. This level of pain, neurologists do not have an answer for. I know because I went to several neurologists and none of them had answers. This level of pain is not recognized in the medical community. But for people who are suffering this kind of pain, the pain could come from two layers. It can come from biomimicry from technology that's in the body. And then the second area in which this pain can affect the person is electromagnetic smog, which can come from actual devices, whether it's smart meters, whether it's satellite systems, whether it's coming from your tech device, whether it's your laptop, whether it's your Wi-Fi systems, whether it's towers, okay, whether it's these antennas, electrical towers, whether it's coming from any sort of technological device, whether it's coming from the grid itself. Okay, so I'm dealing specifically with a kind of pain that the medical community and the scientists utterly refuse to acknowledge. Okay, so I'm dealing specifically for people who have this level of, and it's not even pain, because I know pain. I'm a woman and I have a cycle. I know pain. This is not pain. This is God-forsaken torture. Okay, this is hellish, God-forsaken torture that does not respond to ibuprofen. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna try to break down my scientific observations, and I'm not a scientist. Yes, many years ago, I wanted to become a microbiologist and a molecular biologist. My timeline was diverted. Go back and look at my old videos, and I'll explain all of that. But I still have the elements of a scientific brain, okay? And you have to excuse me, I've been out of science for many years. So a lot of the language, a lot of the even basic biology and chemistry is going to be like, Loop. Okay, so all these observations are, they're not made using from research. They're not from physical research in a lab. They're not from reading, okay, reading and studying what's out there. I have done none of these things. My observations have come from me trying to get rid of technological pain that the medical community utterly refuses to address. Okay, like I said before, the psychiatrists label this pain a product of the mind. And like I argued before, my position is this. If a person is having some sort of ideation, of all the ideations they can have, why pain? Why pain? If a person wants to fantasize about something, why don't they fantasize about being the Queen of England? Why would they fantasize about being tortured to death? I was left with no answer. And also, medical doctors refuse to recognize this type of pain. Why? I don't know. I don't call it pain. I call it goddamn torture, because no human being should have to live with this. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me get to the point. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been doing research. Again, not external research, looking at books, etc., etc. That I will do later. I always try to do my research based upon what I can come up to resolve this level of torture that I experienced since 2011. So for the past 2 weeks, I've been, like I said, I've been working on this nerve formula. And because it was by accident, I decided to target the nerves. Okay, before I was looking at a holistic bath that corrected most of the issues in the body, and it dealt with my formula. Bath formula deals with pain. However, it decreased the detoxing, and the bath, which is internal and external detoxing, dealt with the pain about between 70 to 90%. I had a rapid decrease in pain and an increase in healing. I had about 30%, let's say, about 30 to 10% pain left over, okay? And for the life of me, I've been trying to figure out, how do I get rid of this pain? So by accident or by chance or by, I don't know, I decided to target the nervous system. And that's how I came up with a nerve formula. Okay, I am not telling people to purchase my product. I am putting this information out there so that anyone who's dealing with this level of torture can have answers as to what they're going through. B, know that you are not insane. You are not insane. I want to stress this. American medicine does not recognize pain, and American medicine, Western medicine, I'm sorry, sure as hell don't recognize torture. Okay? They don't even recognize pain, and torture, forget it. They automatically label you nuts, okay, and put you on psychotropics, okay? So again, this is why I'm doing this. I am doing this so that people who experience this type of torture can understand the root of where it's coming from. Not only that, they can take practical steps to get control and get their life back. No human being should live through this. Okay? No human being should have to live through level of unbelievable pain, and not only denied that, denied their right to be believed. So I was watching this movie called Transcendence, and in this movie, it's a scenario where, spoiler alert, old movie, but spoiler alert, it's a scenario where they use technology, okay, and I call it technology which biomimics or biomimicry, where the technology mimics biological systems, okay, and I'll break that down for you. Okay, so when we look at nature as a whole, it's an ecosystem, right? Everything in nature has its role to play. I do not believe in survival of the fittest. I believe in homeostasis, okay, where every living entity and non-living rocks, so on, has a role to play. The fact that it's organic, the fact that it's there, the fact that it is a part of nature, it has a role to play. Okay? Now, insert into that equation a system that parallels that organic system. We're looking at nature as an organic, living, breathing system where everything has a role to play. Now, we take an artificial synthetic system, and the artificial synthetic system parallels, okay, it is not organic, it is fake, it is synthetic, it is not real, it is created, okay, by demons, by the way, and it inserts itself into this organic system. And what it does is, like a virus, it's able to introduce itself into this organic system, but in a way that it makes the organic system view it not as an enemy, but as a friend. Why am I saying this? Because this is what you're dealing with. Dealing with the introduction of a synthetic system that mimics your biological system. Your biological system, I'm going to tell you this, and you can go look it up. Your cells speak in a language. I believe the language that it speaks in, it's a chemical-based language. And I think the language is the cells in the body they speak in is amino acids. Okay, I think that's what it is. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm rusty. It's been years since I've even looked at biology, okay? I think the language it speaks in is in amino acids, okay? So your cells have an actual language in which it communicates, just like you speaking on a cell phone. You speak in an actual language. Every human being on this planet, everything that lives on this planet speaks, okay? Even though we may not understand animal linguistics, they speak. It's the same way where the cells in your body speaks, but it's not just your cells. I overlooked a major component. Your cells cannot communicate without the major system in the body. That major system in the body is called your CNS, your central nervous system. Okay? Now, in Christianity, I know I'm going to get a lot of Christians telling me I'm wrong, but I disagree when the Bible says the life is in the blood. Life is not in the blood. The life is in the central nervous system. And the reason why I say that is because your central nervous system is an electrical conduit. It is reliant upon water and salts, both of which are a conduit for electricity. Your central nervous system sends messages to your body. It uses two ways in which to communicate. Let me just break down the central nervous system. There are two parts. There's the brainstem in the back of the head, and then there's the spinal cord. These are responsible, listen to the words I'm using, and this is not my research. This is from scientists describing your CNS. Listen to the words I'm using. They are responsible for control. Listen to the words. Control. Research what that word means. Control. And then think about what you're going through. And it controls your body functions. Of you victims who are under these directed energy weapons attacks, cellular attacks, attacks from ground to air, technology, attacks from nanotech, biosynthetics, biosensory, implants, implantation, all sorts of different synthetic particles and organisms in the body. These things attack your central nervous system. This would be the reason why you cannot fight it. You're having difficulty fighting it. This would be the reason why you have twitches. This is the reason why you have torturous levels of pain. It is not tissue. It is not cells. It is not your intestines. It is not your joints. It is not your brain. No. What this technology does, when it is inserted into the body, this technology is an intelligent technology. Intelligent, aware, self-replicating technology knows that in order to take over the human or animal biological system, it has to attack one area using biomimicry, your central nervous system. Now, let me tell you how it communicates in short. Okay, so it communicates in two ways. You're looking at nerve impulses and you're looking at sensory impulses. Okay, and it uses neurons, and neurons do what? Listen carefully again. Neurons, listen carefully. It processes information. I'm telling you guys this for a reason, because I want you to understand what is happening inside of your body that's causing you the levels of pain that you're going through. Okay, listen to what neurons do. Neurons process information. Okay, then you're looking at glia. Provides neurons with mechanical means motion, okay, and metabolic support, digestive, metabolizing, the ability for your body to break down organic material. Okay, so we're looking at two things that the natural biological systems in the body are responsible for, and all of this goes back to one thing: control. The central nervous system is responsible for control. The central nervous system is responsible for control. Now listen, when I tell you this, it should immediately send a light in your brain. Control? What I'm experiencing is that this technology combined with the attacks is trying to do what? Control. And how is it doing this? It's using frequencies to control. But the root of it is, how does it try to control? Synthetic biomimicry. When these substances get into the body, originally I thought it attaches itself to maybe a muscle, maybe tissue, maybe fats, some sort of organ in the body. No. I was wrong. Even though it is important to detox these areas of the body, because this technology has a motherboard. What do mothers do? Mothers give birth. You're dealing with technology that can self-replicate. It can self-replicate because it has a motherboard that gives birth. Okay, so it's important to have a detox regimen, but it's even deeper than that. We're going to the root of this technology to dismantle this shit at the core. And the core of it is getting back full autonomous control. Full autonomous control of your central nervous system. Okay? So we're looking at two things. We're looking at neurons, which process information. Why is that important? When you're dealing with synthetic organisms using biomimicry in the body, biomimicry, it intercepts the biological organisms in the body and it mimics it. Therefore, your body is going to look at this foreign entity not as an enemy. If it's mimicking the natural biological system in your body is going to look at it as a friend. But the problem is the frequencies are sending. Remember, I said to you that your body, your cells have a language. Your cells communicate to each other just like you and I communicate to each other. It's called biocellular linguistics, in which your cells communicate. Your nervous system communicates as well. When these synthetics enter the body, it enters the body and mimics the natural biological system of the body. And this self-aware, very intelligent technology, what it does is it doesn't just hone in on tissue. It goes for the source. The source is the central nervous system. Why? Control, 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 control. You control the central nervous system, you control the entire organism. Okay? So we see that neurons are responsible for what? Information. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Neurons are responsible for processing information. When this technology is on your central nervous system, pretending to be a friend, and these neurons are beginning and they're being intercepted. Now, the language that they're sending to the cells in your body is not the proper language for your cells to receive. Your cells will not fight this synthetic organism because your cells are not differentiating it from a friend as an enemy, because it goes into the biological system, it mimics the biological system, but the only difference is the language in which it speaks is destructive. It takes over the biological system, the central nervous system of your body. Your cells, your T cells in particular, and the cells in your body which is responsible for fighting off enemy invaders cannot fight it because it thinks it's a friend. Biomimicry. The problem is when it gets in the body, the cells the wrong message. And it's able to do this by sending destructive frequencies in the language that your cells and your nerves communicate in. Now, what is the end result of wrong information on a molecular level or a microscopic level? Let's think of this in terms of the art of war. The key to winning any war is information, information, information. And not just information, the quality of information. The key to business decisions, if you're a business person, information, information, information. And not just information, people, the quality of information. The key to World War II was information, information, information. We are living in the information age. The key to World War I, information, information, information. The key to history is denial of information, information, information. Now let's look at this, what I'm telling you, on a microscopic level. Dealing with an enemy using biomimicry. The enemy goes in there. The enemy takes over the central nervous system. Your cells are not going to fight because it looks like the nervous system, which is responsible for command and control. Your cells are not going to fight this entity because it looks like a friend. The difference is this friend sends the wrong information, information, information. Your central nervous system, using biomimicry from these synthetic, fucked up technology, is telling your cells the wrong information. And your cells, which is dependent upon your central nervous system, is doing what? Your cells are not going to look at the central nervous system and say, this is an enemy. Because it cannot differentiate, because it's using biomimicry in the art of war. Why do soldiers wear fatigues? Think about it. Why do soldiers wear fatigues? Why don't soldiers wear bright orange and bright yellow? I'm on the battlefield. I'm going to wear bright orange and bright yellow. Why? Because you have to fit in to your environment so that your enemy is not able to distinguish you from your natural environment. And this is what is happening on a microscopic level in your body. This is why you're being tortured beyond control. Because your body is getting the wrong signals sent to it using the command center of your body, the central nervous system that's being manipulated. It's sending the wrong signals. Your cells are receiving the wrong messages. And what ends up happening to your cells is that instead of your cells fighting this predator off, your cells cannot differentiate between a fucking predator and a friend. It's receiving the information and acting upon wrong information given to it. This is what I discovered. This is what I discovered. And I took a step back and I said, this tells me something else. It tells me that the majority of diseases in the last 50 years are not biological diseases. It does not come from biology, nature, and it does not come from genetics. The diseases that we are facing on this planet is coming from one source. We are dealing with technological diseases. I said it, and I'm standing affirmative in my discovery. I am making the assertion that all diseases in the last 50 to 100 years are technological diseases. They are not natural to nature, and they are not genetic. They are technological in nature, at the root, at the core. And my second assertion is this. My second assertion is the root in which humanity can correct technological diseases is two ways, one of which I don't agree with, and one of which is possibly the only other solution. If we are dealing with technological diseases, as I suppose, then we need an antivirus. We need an antivirus. I do not agree with an antivirus because you can always hack a goddamn antivirus. Second way in which I suppose a biological antivirus to counteract the technological diseases in which we are dealing with. All diseases I ascertain, all diseases stem in the last 100 years stems from biosynthetic biomimicry with the use of technological weapons. We are dealing with technological diseases. I ascertain that there are two ways in which this can be corrected. The first in which it can be corrected is biological antivirus, and I don't mean vaccines. The reason why I don't agree with that route is because the same people who created these technological diseases can also hack a biological antivirus. I don't agree with that, okay? And then cause it and then weaponize it like they do with everything else on the planet. The second thing that I suppose is that the root of this, of all diseases, of all, and these are bold statements, and I know I'm going to hear it from the scientists, and I haven't done any research, none whatsoever. These are just observations on how to get this shit out of my body. The second in which I suppose is that all diseases, and these are bold claims I'm making, all, when I say all, I mean 100%. All diseases stem from one thing: wrong information communicated from the central nervous system to the cells. I am making this claim and I am standing on it. I know I will have to defend this claim, but I am making this assertion and I am going to defend it, and I'm going to have to defend it. All diseases in the last 100 years, all, I'm not changing my mind, all of it stems from wrong information from the central nervous system to the cells in the body. The cells not being able to differentiate a friend from a foe, taking the language that is communicated from the central nervous system to the cells, and then carrying out those commands in which the cells decay, in which causes the cells to kill themselves, which brings on the onset of diseases. This is a bold claim, I know. I know many people are going to say she's nuts, she's cuckoo, she's lost her mind. I don't give a damn. Maintaining that all diseases in the last 100 years are technological diseases. They are synthetic. It is not biological, and I'm ascertaining they are not genetic and not biological. They are, in fact, technological synthetics that enters into the body, interacts with technology, sends wrong destructive frequencies to the central nervous system, which is responsible for control. Language then gets communicated to the cells, wrong information passes on to the cells, which are responsible for receiving communications from the central nervous system in order to carry out specific functions in the body. Those functions are processing of information, providing mechanical and metabolic support. The wrong information carries out the wrong execution and causes cellular decay, which brings on the onset of diseases. What is the solution? I propose The main solution, I do not believe in a biological antivirus to take care of this. Why? Because if the people are disintelligent to create this type of system that can go undetected for the last 30 years and people are not able to even take ibuprofen to get rid of this kind of pain, these same people are able to inject a virus into the antivirus to make the body resistant to it, so that can't be the route. Several things. I believe in a detox protocol. Specifically, getting back control of the central nervous system is the key. Getting back control of the central nervous system. How? I haven't figured it out yet. I'm going to work and experiment on it to see how that can be done. I think I have an idea. I am not saying I'm the end all and beginning all in all of this. Some of you who have more brilliant brains than I am and better than I am could probably use this information and come up with something else. But I'm telling you where I'm going with this. The key to this is the central nervous system. Is we have to flush this central nervous system so that it has to release this technology